What's going on YouTube? So the Toyota Camry is of course the best-selling midsize sedan on the market and has been for a long time, which is why it's a very big deal when a new generation comes out. And this is the all-new 9th generation Camry. But this is not just any 9th generation Camry, this is the SE trim level. This is the trim level that is the volume seller for Toyota and the one that you're most likely to find in your driveway. So let's go ahead and get into a specific review about this SE so you can see exactly what you get for this affordable price tag. Now let's start things off here with our exterior design. Now, between the 4 trims that Toyota is offering, you're actually going to find quite a few differences in terms of our styling, especially up here in the front. So all the models, of course, are going to have some certain updates. With the new generation, you've got that kind of hammerhead look up here in the front where it's a little more squared off. You're always also going to have a pretty large grille, but the finish of the grille will be very different between the trims. The SE is going to get you this matte black mesh finish that's going to run all the way across the front, as opposed to a body color finish with the XSE or the bars that you get on the other trim levels. The lighting is also going to be a little bit different than the fully loaded X trims. It's going to be less premium in terms of the kind of extra elements. So you'll still get the projector LED headlights. So that's going to be very nice at nighttime. But you'll notice that we have the incandescent turn signal. We don't have any type of fancy LED daytime running light. Now, of course, everyone has always appreciated the style of the SE, and it continues to be very stylish with things such as these 18-inch alloy wheels. For the 2025 model, we have a full gloss black finish, which I think looks very premium and like the XSE from last year. And then in terms of our mirrors, no sacrifice on features either, so we have heating as well as blind spot monitoring as standard equipment.
Now at the side, you will see some of the actual same panels from the previous generation Camry kind of carry over, especially when it comes to like the door pieces. And as far as an overall vehicle length, it's 193.5 inches. But let's go ahead and check out the stylish rear design of this SE version and see what you're going to get back here. Now I said stylish because really you're going to get a very good look for even this affordable SE trim level. Now one of the things that I really am happy to see is that we do have a deck lid spoiler. That's for the SE and XSE trim levels. And then as we drop down, we have blacked out Camry branding. And then in terms of our taillights, we are going to have an all-new shape for 2025. It, once again, kind of has that hammerhead overall shape to it. Now, one of the things you will be missing out on is the full LED componentry. So as you can see, we have an incandescent turn signal. We also have an incandescent reverse light. We still do keep an LED brake light, but you're not going to have the full LED componentry that you would get on an XSE, for instance. We have SE branding, all-wheel drive, and hybrid branding. And then down here at the lower diffuser area, this is going to be finished in a matte black, and we have exposed exhaust outlets here on the driver's side since we have a sport grade. Now, one of the things I'm also really happy about is that Toyota did not cheap out when it comes to your safety systems. For this SE model, you're going to get all 4 active safety features as standard equipment. The only thing you will be missing out on is the very advanced safety systems such as traffic jam assist that you can option on to the higher end models. But I'm not going to leave you in suspense any longer. Let's see what the SE gives you on the inside. But first, if you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We may be young, but we love cars.
And we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family. Let's learn a lot, have some fun with all the latest cars.
All right, now on to the interior. First, we'll look at the key fob as always. This is the key fob you're going to get with all Camrys for 2025. It is the keyless entry system where you don't have the switchblade key. That being said, on the LE and the SE, you will have to option on the smart entry system if you want to just reach behind the handle and unlock the door like that. Now, taking a look inside the interior. Some really nice changes with this new generation, and I think you'll be surprised with how premium this SE looks. So that begins really with the seats. The SE is going to upgrade you to a Softex faux leather, and as you can see, this is a really nice looking seat. We have the leatherette through the center sections. We have these cloth accents built in. We also have color contrast, white running through here, and the stitching details overall make this seat look really, really nice. Toyota's also made some improvements to the design of the seat to make it more comfortable this year as well. SE is the first trim, which will come with an 8-way power adjusting seat and 2-way lumbar support. But let's go ahead and get inside. Now, just like with the exterior, each trim does get some different material choices. Let's kind of talk about those right now. SE gets a soft touch material across the armrest, and then through the center section, this is where you're going to find a kind of gray looking cloth with stitching details kind of running through it. That's going to go up the door trim like that, and you're also going to find that same material run all the way across the dash, including this piece that goes through here. Now, in terms of our upper dash, this will always be a nice soft touch plastic, and we always have this nice piano black finish through that vent detailing. Down on your lower panels, this is going to be hard touch along the sides of this, and then you have a kind of piano finish running through the center section. Let's go ahead and fire it up with the push button start, which is included as standard equipment on all Camrys this year. Now that we have it fired up, let's dig into specific details of the cabin. We'll start with the gauge cluster. Up here, you're going to notice a 7-inch partially digital gauge cluster. This is standard on the 2025 Camry. Some of the upper trims are going to come with a 12.3-inch display, but this one still looks quite nice because the center section is reconfigurable, and then just the outside edges here are going to be a fixed design. Also, of course, upper end ones can get head-up displays, but you will still find a nice leather-wrapped steering wheel with the color contrast stitching on board with the SE. And one of the nice things is that if you live in a place that's cold, you can go ahead and choose the cold weather package like we have on today's example, which will bring a heated steering wheel to the SE trim level in addition to the heated seats. Now let's go ahead and talk about interior storage. We'll start out with our center console. Guys, this center console is huge. This is a really massive center console for a midsize sedan, and we tested it out yesterday. You can fit a full dozen donuts inside of this console because this is Car Confections, we do the donut test. That's how you know the volume. Now, up in front of that, you've got your 2 cup holders. We have another nice storage area right there, good for sticking loose objects, and we also have the available wireless phone charging pad on today's tester. As far as the shifter, it remains a traditional style shifter, not an electronic one. You can bump to the left if you want to activate some manual shift modes right there with the paddle shifters. And then we go into reverse. Here's what our standard backup camera looks like. So as you can see, it looks like we do have active trajectory here on the SE. So that's a nice feature. 360 camera is going to be reserved for the higher end models as an option. But one additional thing for 2025 is the fact that the electronic parking brake becomes standard equipment on every single Camry. Now, as we move up to our climate controls, this is another nice new addition for 2025 is the fact we have standard dual zone automatic climate across the board. You can adjust the temperature very easily right there with those 2 toggles. And as I mentioned earlier, the weather package is going to get you heated seats on the SE. Now, up above, we have a volume knob. Standard on the SE is going to be a 6-speaker sound system, and we'll go ahead and give that a sample right now. Okay, overall sound quality is actually not bad at all. I think you'll be perfectly happy with this for this price point. But if you want a little bit more thump, you can choose the JBL on the upper end trim levels. Now, one of the features from the upper end trim levels that is available on the SE is this 12.3-inch display. So standard is going to be an 8-inch display. For about $1,000 you can get this upgraded 12.3-inch display. Regardless, you're going to have Toyota's newest software, and that means that you have wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay. This one is going to have dynamic navigation as well. Up above, we have an auto-dimming mirror with our HomeLink remotes. That is an available option. And another available option on the SE is going to be our standard size sunroof. As you can see, it does open up. You've got the manual sunshade, and if you want a panoramic sunroof, you can get that, but you'll have to add it to the X trims.
Now let's check out the rear seat of this Camry SE. As you can see, you have a lot of space. And as far as the official Toyota legroom figures, we're sitting at about 38 inches of legroom, about 37.6 inches of headroom. Those are good space figures. I'm 5'9" for reference. This seat is adjusted to Drew, who is 5'8". And as you can see, I have plenty of additional knee room. As a matter of fact, we brought our ruler so we could see what that looks like, and we are looking at about 9 inches of additional knee room. My feet can also slide up underneath the seat, so overall, very comfortable back here. Now let's talk about features though. So here in the rear seat area, I'm very happy to tell you that we now have standard vents on all trim levels of the Camry. So no longer do you have to get the high-end versions to get rear vents. I can, get some air back here, although it's quite hot today, so I'm very appreciative of that. As we drop down, we have 2 USB ports as well. We have a USB-A and a USB-C to keep everything charged up. We're also going to have a fold-down armrest with cup holders inside. And the door trim is going to be made of pretty much just hard-touch materials from top to bottom, but we do have a padded armrest, and there is a bottle holder down in the very bottom. And walking up to the cargo area, there's a button integrated right under the lid, and the trunk itself is dampened. As far as the space is concerned in here, 15.1 cubic feet is your official cargo capacity figure. That is going to be less than the Honda Accord, for instance. However, it is still plenty of space for most families. I also want to point out the seats do fold 60-40 split. You have a spare tire integrated up underneath of the cargo floor as well, as you can see right there. And then if we get our tape measure out, we can see how long the cargo floor is. We're sitting at about 45 inches of overall cargo length for this Camry model. So that's pretty good. And then as far as the cargo opening, it's about 32 inches wide. But guys, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to the powertrain, so let's dive into that. Well guys, here we are behind the wheel of the all-new Camry SE. In this test drive, we're going to be doing quite a few different things, as you can see on the screen right now, including getting our sound level reading for this SE trim level. But first, we're going to go ahead and start with a hard acceleration, see what this hybrid system is all about.
So there we are, going well past 60 miles an hour with the Camry SE.
Up a steep grade.
Up a very steep hill. Definitely want to point that out. We're in Southern California, right on the Mexican border. There's effectively no flat terrain at all. Yeah. So we would love to get you like a nice 0 to 60 on a flat area, but that's not going to happen. Nevertheless, we can tell you, even on a steep incline, this Camry SE certainly has more than enough power. So of course, the big news about this next generation Camry is that this is hybrid exclusive. We don't have any type of standard gas powertrain. We also don't have a V6 option. And that is very important overall to the experience. Now, most people, if you have had any of the previous generations of Camry, you were rocking just a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine. And I think when you get behind the wheel of this next generation, you're going to be very impressed by how much power you feel. It feels significantly faster than the outgoing gas model that most of you guys would be driving with the SE.
Yeah, that is for sure. Now, as far as what this hybrid system is, this is Toyota's 5th generation hybrid system. So what you have is 2 different horsepower figures when you put everything together. If you choose front wheel drive, it's going to be coming in at 225 horsepower. If you choose all wheel drive, it comes in at 232 horsepower. So what we're sampling today is the all wheel drive version. So this is the quickest version of the Camry that you can get. And like Drew said, the performance is quite impressive. There's actually 2 electric motors for the front, and then there's a 3rd electric motor if you choose the all-wheel drive system. That's why you get that a little bit of additional power when you choose all-wheel drive.
So right off the line, you do feel the electric torque before the engine kicks in, and overall the engine itself is a lot quieter than the previous generation. This is, like Mason was saying, the 5th generation hybrid system, and with each generation, I think Toyota has just really worked so hard to make it seamless and smooth, and it just get better and better. This one is the best yet. I can definitely say that. It is just so smooth. You really don't feel the handoff at all between electric and gas. And I think that's going to really ease the transition for those of you who are maybe a little skeptical or, you know, curious about the hybrid system and not sure if you really want to switch to a hybrid. I really don't think it's going to bother you versus the previous generation, just because of the refinement of this system. Now, part of Toyota's hybrid system is an eCVT. It's very nice and responsive. As soon as you put your foot down, you do get power instantly. And then, of course, as Mason said, you do have the availability of all-wheel drive on every single trim level.
Yes, and you know, I think this is a great time for us to discuss the overall driving dynamic improvements for this all-new Camry, because we've been behind the wheel of it several different times in different trim levels, and there's a lot to talk about here.
Yeah, Toyota really focused a lot on improving the dynamics, and I think they really have been successful in this area. So first of all, as we kind of go through these corners here, it really has a nice and balanced overall feel. You don't feel much body roll at all. It feels quite agile on its feet, and you can just kind of bring it through these corners and feel very confident in its ability to handle that. The other thing that's a big factor in that is that the steering is a lot better than the last generation. It's more communicative. It's still light, of course, because this is a family sedan, but it responds to you immediately. There's no dead areas in the steering.
Now, as far as other things that I do want to point out about this new 2025 Toyota Camry, I want to talk about your ride quality. So, like I mentioned, we've driven this Camry for quite some time at this point, and one of the things Toyota bragged about is that they improved the seats. And I have to say, these seats are very, very comfortable, even on extensive hour-long road trips. We look forward to testing it out for a full 7 days later on, but as far as for now, been very impressed with the ride quality and the overall comfort level that you're going to get. Even here in the SE, we have special sport tuned shocks for the sport grades of the Camry, but I have to tell you, it doesn't translate to a rough ride quality at all whatsoever. And now that we're speeding up here, I do want to get a sound level reading going 55 miles per hour. We went ahead and put it on fan speed 1. See how this all-new Camry is for this new generation. .4 is our official sound level reading. I say official a little lightly because we are here in Southern California. We look forward to testing it back home shortly, but that is a very good sound level reading. If you want to check out all of our sound level readings, you can actually go to carconfections.com/sound level readings, and on our website we posted all of the vehicles that we test, which is quite a lot of vehicles, so you'll definitely want to check out our website to see how they all compare. And as far as last things to talk about here are airball and slam dunk. Now, for a slam dunk, what we're going to say is just the overall value that you're getting with this SE version of the Camry. Certainly, you are getting a lot for your money, especially when it comes to the powertrain department. And for the airball, what we are going to mention is that when you get all the options here on the SE trim level, it is strikingly close to the XSE price tag. So do keep that in mind. Depending on what type of equipment you're going to want on your SE, you may just want to upgrade to the base version of the XSE, which gives you a lot of the features that you're optioning onto this trim level. Finally, here for fuel economy, you are going to be coming in at a very impressive fuel economy, of course, because of the hybrid system. So this SE all-wheel drive is coming in at 46 miles per gallon combined. Of course, there are different trim levels that you can get to increase the fuel economy. The highest one you can get is the LE front-wheel drive that comes in at 51 mpg. Now let's talk pricing. So I'm sure you're curious as to how much this is going to cost, because this is the more affordable version. For the SE all-wheel drive, we start at $32,200. When you add in all the options, like what we have on today's example, we're a little over $35,300 as tested today. And, you know, all the other trims are on the screen right now, so you can kind of cross shop between the different trim levels. You might be able to get a base XSE as well for a similar price point to this model as tested today. Now, if you're looking to buy any vehicle or this Toyota Camry, go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes. Now, why you do that is because we have a tool on our website that will connect you with local car dealers in your area to get you the best price on your new vehicle. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool for dealership negotiation. If you'd like to take advantage of that, a link is provided in our video description, and there's also a pinned comment at the top of this video. Now it's time to talk about potential resale value and reliability. Now, we did lose Drew because he's lining up for a thumbnail photo. We have a very limited time frame with these vehicles, so we're gonna have to do this as quickly as possible. But we want to talk about resale and reliability to make sure you are making a smart purchase, because when you're looking to buy a vehicle, that's a very big decision. Now, as an economics graduate, let's go ahead and start by talking about potential resale value. We estimate that after 5 years, this Toyota Camry will be worth 64.5% of its original value, and after 10 years, 41.4% of its original MSRP. That certainly is a very impressive resale value compared to other vehicle makes. As a matter of fact, it places it as the second best across all vehicle makes in both categories. Now, we've also done the same for potential reliability by making the combined reliability index, which takes in account a lot of different automotive sources that are trusted when it comes to reliability data. Now, according to this, Toyota is actually ranked #1 across all other vehicle makes when it comes to reliability, so this is the best in our combined reliability index. Now, if you'd like to check out all of our data about reliability and resale values, as well as learn about our methodology, make sure to head to carconfections.com/resale and carconfections.com/reliability. Like I mentioned, buying a car is a very big decision, so you want to make sure you're making a smart purchase, especially if you're cross-shopping between different vehicle makes. And guys, that's going to be where we leave off on this in-depth review of the all-new 2025 Toyota Camry SE. If you enjoyed watching this video or found it helpful in your purchasing decisions, we would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below. By subscribing, you're going to get access to a lot more car reviews that I'm sure you won't want to miss out on, a lot more Camry content, as well as all other Toyotas and all other vehicle makes. So please subscribe, do yourself a favor. If you're already a part of our Car Confections family, thank you so much for your continued support, and we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.